All right, Shalom. It's your fellow servant Tazawar with another lesson. First, I want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, from whom we learn this truth from. Shalom to the Akim that are out pushing likewise doctrine and spirit and truth, though they may not be in GMS. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwathium, and the speckled birds listening and learning abroad. All right, I'm gonna try to keep this one short. I said that about the last lesson about keeping it concise, and it ran way longer than I expected. So lucky for that. But we're gonna get right into it. Previously, I was going into Israelites and their connection or our connection to the Gentiles. All right, as referred to in the what people call the New Testament. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and just jump into this one. I said I was probably going to do a give like a little bit more information on that, solidifying that again. So that's what this lesson will be about. So let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 11. All right, let's start at verse 10. All right, this is actually talking about a future prophecy. Okay, and as you see the heading down here just below verse 10, it says the restored remnant. But let's read 10. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 11 verse 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. All right. Then we got the NLT to the left. Yeah, let's get that in NLT also. In that day, the heir to David's throne, right? That's Yahweh Shai. All right, that's the root of Jesse, will be a banner of salvation to all the world. The nations will rally to him, and the land where he lives will be a glorious place. Now, let's lock into the meat of this. I love that they have this heading right here, the restored remnant, because that's actually what the verse above is referencing. Okay, notice it says Gentiles. All right, to it shall the Gentiles seek. All right, the banner or the ensign. All right, moving on to 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, all right, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. Okay, it says he shall set his hand again a second time to recover the remnant of his people. So who are the Gentiles that's being spoken of right here in verse 10? Well, that's the remnant. Okay, And then it gives you different lands that the remnant is scattered. Okay, this is just a few, but it's naming all those areas in that region. But we know that, as I brought out in previous lesson, pursuant to Deuteronomy 32:26, we shall be scattered to the corners, all right, to the four winds of the earth. So that's everywhere, not just these lands, but and he shall set up an ensign, this is verse 12, for the nations, and shall assemble the outcast of Israel. All right, beautiful. And he shall set up, let me just call it Isaiah 11, chapter 11, and verse 12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcast of Israel. All right, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. All right. Again, pursuant to Deuteronomy 32 and 26. That links beautifully. All right. Let's the envy. Let's go on to 13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart. All right. Ephraim being the head tribe of the northern kingdom. All right. Or Israel. All right, which is coined Samaria. All right, by historians, which is the northern kingdom. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. All right, let's get that in the NLT, both 12 and 13 in the NLT. Starting at 12, he will raise a flag among the nations and assemble the exiles of Israel. He will gather the scattered people of Judah from the ends of the earth. Then, at last, the jealousy between Israel and Judah, that's because the kingdom split, all right, after Solomon, will end. They will not be rivals anymore. All right. So now we see that happening today. All right. If you go back to the early 1900s, all right, or even mid 1900s in the 50s and 60s, all right, the early 1900s, though, for sure, the so-called Negro and the so-called Hispanics really didn't have any dealings with each other. All right. And this is also relevant because when you understand what this is explaining, okay, it makes perfect sense when you read in the New Testament about the circumcision versus the uncircumcision. Okay? Meaning the outcast of Israel and the outcast of Judah, all right? The dispersed, so you can understand the outcast, the scattered, that would be what's known as the uncircumcision, all right? The Gentiles, all right? The people of the promise that were living like heathen. All right, we went into that word the other day. A Hellenist, all right, Helleniste, a Hellenist, one who adopts the customs of the Greeks, all right, versus that which was called circumcision, which would be the Judites, all right. And that term I'm using, Judites, I'm not specifically speaking of the tribe of Judah. I'm speaking of the citizens of the land of Judea. All right. So when somebody refers to one as a Jew, it usually means they are from the fourth tribe, all right, the fourth son of Jacob, whose name was Judah. The other way somebody could be considered a Jew is if they lived or dwelt in the land of Judea after the split of the kingdom after Solomon. Okay, so you did have some northern kingdom, very few scattered and dispersed throughout the land of Judea, who were called Jews. Anyway, that would be the circumcision. Those would be the people who kept the customs, all right, never fell off. Their family line did not submit into the Greekish occupation and all the torture and dealings that we read about in the Apocrypha, all right, under Antiochus Epiphanes. All right. Now, y'all can look at some secular history on that too. Anyway, so I can. So that's at that time, so you can understand the dealings between the so-called Gentiles, all right, or the Hellenists, and those who stayed in the covenant. Okay. Now, applying that to today, where many of us were had forgotten who we are, all right, and just now coming back to our heritage. Okay, that definitely applies to today. All right, this verse can definitely apply to today because we are also being gathered. Okay, as I was going into before I lost my train of thought, like in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s, man, you really didn't see the Negroes and the Latin tribes, really interacting on a large scale. Here it is, 2023. Say the last. I mean, if you really want to be real about it, you go all the way back to let's say like the 80s, like late 70s and the 80s is really when that started to change. And we've always been living around each other, in the ghettos and the barrios and all of that. But there usually was a separation, all right? But now, we see a lot of Latinos, so-called Latinos or Hispanics dealing with so-called Negroes. That's almost commonplace, right? Because the Lord is removing those breaches, man, as we read about right here in the 13th verse. Right? He's sewing us up, man. All right? And that's a beautiful thing to witness. Let's get some more. Salaki, what I want to get next? Let's go ahead and get I was gonna 37. Let me see if that's what I want. Now let's get Hosea first. I'm gonna grab Hosea chapter 1. All right, let's jump down to 10. All right, this is the book of Hosea chapter 1 verse 10. Remember, we were scattered, all right? Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living God. All right, of the living power. 11. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together. All right, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. All right, so this is further going back to compounding on what Isaiah 11 and 13 was talking about. All right, sewing up those breaches, man. So right here in verse 11, it talks about the children of Judah. That's the land of Judea, the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and the children of Israel, or the Sumerians, right? The northern kingdom, okay? The other 9 tribes or 10 tribes, however you want to say it, will be gathered together, all right? And appoint themselves one head. Well, we're doing that right now, all right? And you see that in the camp. You know, I myself am from the northern kingdom. All right, I'm a Reubenite. So, you know, and I got much love for my Hispanic brothers and sisters and my so-called Negro brothers and sisters. Those, you know, African American, Haitian, Jamaican. You know, I just love my nation. But anyway, the point I want to get right here, it says, let's go to the middle of verse 10. Right here it says, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, that was said over here on this side of the world, all right, after we've been scattered, and much of the prophecies and the curses had taken hold of us, all right. Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power. All right. And here in the Americas, mainly here in Babylon the Great, but also throughout the 4 winds, but there's a high concentration, right, of people, of men standing up, right, from both kingdoms, proclaiming who we are, all right, that we are the sons of the living power. So we are watching this prophecy come to pass in real time. You know, and the heathens be out looking at us on the street corner like, look at them crazy niggas over there. You know, hell, even some of our own family members look at us that way. All right, but this definitely is can be applied to today, and we're seeing it unfold right in front of our eyes. And this is also how you know that the scriptures, all right, the Bible is a living book. This was written thousands of years ago. Okay, and we're watching this play out right in front of our eyes. So if anybody asks, well, how can you believe in that? The Bible was written by man. Hey, every book was written by a man. All right. How come you don't question your Egyptology or your Buddhism or the science books, your physics? All right. Their version of mathematics, whatever. You know. Anyhow. And then it's let's go down to verse 11. Then shall the children of Judah, that's the northern king, Salaki, the southern kingdom, and the children of Israel, the northern kingdom, be gathered together and appoint themselves one head. All right. So right now, the head that we have appointed for ourselves is Yahweh Shai. All right. Now the scriptures speak about, actually it says that Yahweh will set David over us. All right. David shall reign over us. Right. And he shall be a prince of over us forever. All right. That's in the book of Ezekiel. I believe that's like 38 or 39, chapter 38 or 39. But it's in the book of Ezekiel. All right, we actually going to get that scripture from there next. Let's go ahead and do that. Because I pulled 37 first, but I think Hosea go better first. So let's go to Ezekiel chapter 37. And 9. All right. Do I want to start at 9? Let's see. Yeah, you can go up and get read 1 through 8 on your own. But this is a parable. All right. This is the book of Ezekiel 37 and verse 9. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord power, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. All right. Well, who are these slain? Well, we were those slain. All right. So if you go up, it's speaking of the dry bones. It gives a likeness of dry bones being brought into life. All right. So the breath, the same breath that was given unto Adam, that he became a living soul. All right. So you can liken this parable unto that. But who are these bones? All right. But it tells us to what? Prophesy unto the wind. And you see us doing that also as we stand out there on the highways and byways in the hedges. All right. Declaring to our people who we are and the rest of the nations as well. Let's see. Verse 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. All right, stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. And we see that happening because everywhere you turn, man, in almost every major city, there's an Israelite camp. All right, here in America. And if you really understand how big this thing is, it's a global phenomenon. All right, so in America alone, they having a hard time numbering us so-called Hebrew Israelites. Well, not so-called, because we are Hebrew Israelites, but so-called BHI, that's what they call us. Black Hebrew Israelites, black. All right, black's a color. We're not black, we're different shades of brown. But anyway, not to get sidetracked. Let me go down right here. Verse 11, it says, the vision explained. Then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. All right. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord power. Behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. All right. So this parable is likening us to being in a dead state. All right. But the point I wanted right here was 9 and 10. All right. That spirit of prophecy is what gives us life, man. So we have awakened out of the state of death, awakened out of our sleep. Okay. And we have stood up an exceeding great army. And when you consider, like I said, they don't know how many of us there really are here and who believe what we believe in this country. Furthermore, when you go abroad, you know, to the dispersed that are scattered in other places of the world, ain't no way they could really number that. Okay, so that is an exceeding great army. There's brothers all across the globe, man, sending out videos, edifying the flock. All right, let's go back to the book of Isaiah, chapter 44. I was gonna start at 4. I'm gonna start at 3. For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty. All right, and floods upon the dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon thy seed and my blessing upon thy offspring. What seed? The Israelite seed. All right, both northern and southern kingdom. That be us. 4. And they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the water courses. All right, because we stood on our feet as an exceeding great army. All right, and we popping up. You know, hey, pop goes the weasel on that ass. You hear me? One shall say, this verse 5, one shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel. All right, just go right back to Hosea chapter 1, verses 10 and 11. All right, there in that place where it says we are not the people, where we were told we were not the people, we are declaring and telling others that we are the sons of the living power. All right. As they spring up among the grass as willows by the water courses, because we have the living waters. All right. What did Yahweh say? Did he say, out of thy belly shall flow living waters? And are we not pushing that spirit that he came in? The elders have broken down the prophecies to edify the flock, and now you have men that have entered into their labors, doing the same thing and compounding on what was given to us. All right. The gospel, man. But you have to believe on Yahweh Shai. So you Old Testament Israelite, Old Testament only Israelites, you know what I'm saying? Keep the law. Hey, the law don't save you, man. The scriptures tell you that the sin, the flesh is subject to sin. What does subject mean? Subject means to be ruled by. All right. So these bodies, this flesh is ruled by sin. All right. So we can only do the best we can, but faith is the cornerstone, man, of our ministry. Okay? But you have to believe on the Son, the Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, as the scriptures have said. Understand that. So you just can't be out here running amok, being a damn demon. All right. I'm gonna do another video after this one for those of you who can receive it and have received it. Whether it be based on something that I've said or other brothers have said or your own research or however the word has come to you. Okay, you an Israelite, so now what? We gonna get into that in the next lesson, but not to get off track. This right here is showing you one shall say, I am the Lord's. All right, verse 5. And all of these scriptures are Old Testament prophecies, all right, that show one, that the Israelites were scattered, dispersed, and cut off. All right. Meaning what? Meaning that we are Gentiles. That's why I took you to Isaiah chapter 11 first. All right. So if you can't get that based on the first lesson I did on Gentiles and this one, I don't know what to tell you. And like I say, these are prophecies that you can look at and see are actually happening in real time today. All right. That's what real time mean anyway. They're happening before our very eyes, man. So again, yes, we be those people. All right. In times past, we would call Gentiles. But coming next is, okay, so you've accepted you're Israelite. Now what? That's gonna be the next lesson. But until then, I'm gonna say Shalom.